Greetings and welcome to another Diablo 2 Resurrected video. Today, the patch 2.4 final patch notes dropped just like, I don't know, 20 minutes ago, and we will be going over that and the changes they made comparing to the last PTR. Unfortunately, they did not mark them down in red or something like that, so we have to compare side by side. That's why on the left side we see the final patch notes, and on the right side we have the PTR patch notes and the updated PTR patch notes. So let's go through it. So they released this today, April 14th, Diablo 2 Resurrected patch 2.4 coming soon. We are preparing servers for the launch of patch 2.4. Stay tuned for official updates here for when patch 2.4 goes live. Heroes of Sanctuary, the Lord of Terror welcomes you to Diablo 2 Resurrected patch 2.4 and ladder launch update. Put your battle skills to the test with the first competitive ladder season as we introduce a world of updates impacting a multitude of gameplay elements. For the first time in over a decade, we are implementing significant gameplay changes to promote new strategies for your next trip to Sanctuary. Among the changes are various updates for each class, new rune words, fresh erotic cube recipes, mercenary reworks, and much more. Study up, for using this newly penned knowledge to your advantage will have demons covering in your presence. Before you begin your quest east, you will need to make a handful of necessary preparations, so we've assembled a guide to make sure you return to Sanctuary with ease, especially as you ready yourself for battle against the forces of the Burning Head. Ooh, what guide are you talking about? Well, we will find out. Okay, for some reason my OBS did not record when I wanted to. I was already, I don't know, on my way through the patch notes, but now that I know more about what changes there are and what not, we can make this a bit quicker, which I like. I mean, you can read these ladder details on your own pace. They're basically talking about how the ladder works, and I will be linking in the description the patch notes for you, so you can check that out. Also, there's an infernal race, so a ladder showcase with some English and Korean competitors going for ladder first at the first days, and it starts April 28th, of course, in 2 weeks. And it's also live streamed on twitch.tv/Diablo. So that is nice. But going over the changes for the Amazon, nothing changed for the Amazon compared to the PTR patch. So we can just go over that right now. And then moving to Assassin, already checked that. Nothing changed here for martial arts. Nothing changed for shadow disciplines compared to the PTR. Nothing for traps mostly. But we have the Blade Fury, and this is very huge. These two words here are insane and massive, and I really thank the developers for listening, because this was one point I was raising in the official forums as well, because attack rating for Blade Fury is atrocious, and they added attack rating increased by 10% in the latest BTR update, but it was just a flat 10%, and I and many others were wondering, is this a mistake? Because 10% flat is like nothing. But now with 10% per level, this means, I hope this goes over the 20 hard points you can have. So you have at minimum 200% more attack rating with the skill, which is huge in this build really needs it. So I'm very looking forward to testing this out. And I was gonna play a Blade Fury's Assassin anyways, and this is just only making it so much better. Moving on, Blade Shield, let's look at that. I think it stayed the same basically. Yeah, no other changes there. And to the Barbarian, I think it stayed the same as well. Yeah, let's quickly go over it. Don't see any difference right here. So Grimward is the same, but I think it works very nice. A lot of people want the Grimward to not fear, but I think it's still usable for a throw barb, for example, or a Warcry barb, as you can see in the videos I made about them. And let's go over combat masteries. Yeah, we have the throwing, just added the Pierce, and in the upgraded version we have all these changes, which basically seem to be the same, but they are missing the attack rating increase by 12% here. I don't know what that means, because we have the base attack rating bonus increased, which is 12%. So maybe this is included, and this is just making it sound weird, because attack rate increased by 12% and increased base attack bonus. I think they just made it into one sentence, and which makes more sense, because attack bonus, attack rating was confusing, I guess. So other than that, we don't have any differences, I think. Oh, this was up to 50% chance to not consume quantity, and the throwing mastery now has added chance to not consume quantity per level up to 55% chance at level 20. So this is different, a bit different. I don't know if it was in the, oh, these are the updated notes as well. So yeah, now it's even higher. It already worked very, very well, and you were not losing quantity. So this is even better now. Combat, we don't have. Oh yeah, we have it here. We have some kind of whirlwind fix. This is new. Whirlwind is always nice to see, because whirlwind is underperforming. When targeting an enemy with whirlwind, the barbarian will move to the initial position of the enemy. It will not track them as they move. Whirlwind will be performed even when targeting adjacent enemies used to perform a basic attack. So this might be a good fix. This might be better than before. Instead of using basic attack, Whirlwind will be performed. But I don't have much experience with Whirlwind. I just know that it's not that great. Maybe this will help. Not sure, but because I think a lot of people were hoping to get a buff in damage of Whirlwind, and this is not a buff in damage. So moving on to Leap, it seems like it stayed the same. Leap attack, though, I was looking over that before, and it now has this sentence where it says increased scaling compared to the PTR implementation, and this references the extra physical damage to surrounding enemies within a range of 4.6 yards when landing from Leap attack. So the AoE damage from Leap attack, which they introduced in the updated patch notes from PTR, as you can see here on the right side, was very poor, because it was, I think, at something like level 25 Leap attack, it was around 200 damage or so, or 300 damage maybe. And I'm curious how much it scales right now, because this also says Leap synergy bonus applies to the AoE damage in addition to the attack. So Leap synergy bonus is not stated here, but it is in the skill and was already in the skill. So I'm curious to how much damage we can go. I'm hoping, like, I think 1000 damage or something would be nice. Everything above would be maybe a bit too powerful, but we will see. Leap attack could be a new build for the barbarian, so we have to check that out later. Moving on then, Berserk stayed the same, Double Throw stayed the same, Frenzy stayed the same as well. And we have the Fire Druid. I was going over that before, glancing over it, and I think this all stayed the same, because basically it's fine how they did it. There's nothing to be changed there, I guess. No, I don't see anything. If you see anything I don't see, then please let me know in the comment section below. For shapeshifting, we have the new attack speed calculation, the new attack speed cap. Rabies has more damage. This is all the same. I think the huge rare buffs are also the same. We can compare it to here. And yeah, it seems the same values apply. And yeah, tooltip now displays casting delay, which is fine. Maul is basically the same buffs, the same values. Shockwave as well, Fire Claws as well. Summoning has the Spirit Wolves, Dire Wolves, and Bears also at the same time, which is very important. And all the values here, we're just glancing over it, seems like they are the same as before. What does Raven do now? Attack rating bonus, modify the AI, damage level scaling significantly increased. I don't know if it's still 5 Ravens, it doesn't state here, but yeah, here it was restored to original value. So they didn't stay it here because it's original value, so 5 Ravens. And yeah, they are scaling as in the PTR. So for the wolves, it seems like these are the same values Summon Grizzly as well. Poison Creeper, Carrion Vine, Solar Creeper. That's all fine. Necromancer, I noticed summoning skills. Skeletal mages are the same. But as you can see, Blood Golem. Let's look at the updated PTR patches. Blood Golem got a 20% reduction mana cost and attack damage increased by about 20%. But it now says damage scaling per level has been increased. Oh, was there before. Okay. I'm backing I'm backing off. But what is new is the Fire Golem. It says here holy fire damage increased by an average of 50% and fire attack damage increased by an average of 30%. And if you look at the updated PTR patch notes, it said attack damage increased by about 20%. So we have even more fire attack damage, and the holy fire damage is increased by around 50%. So this might be a viable choice in a Fire Golem plus Skeletal Mages Necromancer, which could be fun. Just running around the floor resist. Maybe you can even supply damage with Poison Nova. So we see about that. Moving on to Poison and Bone skills. No changes here, or no further changes, the same as in the PTR. Curses as well. Paladin, just tooltip updates. Offensive Auras has tooltip updates, and Holy Fire. This, I think, changed as well. Let's see in the updated one. Holy Fire. Deal 200% damage at melee range. So Aura will deal double damage at melee range and linearly scale to normal damage at maximum range. So there is a scaling. Like here, area damage now scales based on distance of the image. It will now deal range from 100% damage to 200% based on the first distance. So it seems like the scaling is back. Linearly scaled. So if like it's close to melee range, it's 200%, and if the monster is, I don't know, 10 yards away, then it's 100%, and then 9 yards is 190%. 110%, and 8 yards is 120%, and so on. Something like that. But it seems like the scaling is back, which is nice. Resist fire synergy increased from 18 to 21%. This was in the updated patch notes. Damage level scale increase to 70% was in the first PTR patch notes, and the synergy also to 10%. So again, we have the scaling back for some reason. Let's see how this works. Holy Freeze, the same with the scaling. Holy Shock also. Sanctuary also. Thorn is a rework as it was in the PTR. Moving on to combat skills. Seems like nothing has changed here so far. Fist of the Heavens. Also damages demons. Was in the updated PTR. And yeah, seems the same basically, but it was fine, so good on that. The Sorcerers, Blizzard, casting level knowing a share cooldown, which is huge. Other than that, don't see anything that changed compared to the PTR. We can go over that. Let's see. Nova, additional damage from static, synergy, and mana cost reduced. We have that. Also thunderstorms in there and the energy shield. Moving on to fire skills. The values on Inferno seem to be the same as in the PTR. Same goes for Blaze. Firewall, Meteor, Hydra is you can now spawn multiple Hydras on control and holding down the button. Casting delay removed. Limited max number of Hydra groups to 6. So like in the PTR and not with the synergy increased. That's fine. Hydras are fine. It's a good starting build. And they scale alright. Item tooltip changes, these are basically the same. Uber Diablo changes. The way the player summoned Uber Diablo in Diablo 2 Resurrected today will remain the same as it was first introduced in version 1.10 by selling Stone of Jordan rings. However, we have updated how and where that progress is calculated to improve the experience for the entire community. Uber Diablo progress for each game type will now be kept by the regional database. When the threshold is met by selling enough Stone of Jordan rings, Uber Diablo will spawn for everyone in the same region, not only those on the same server instance. Progress towards Uber Diablo is now tracked per game type, getting a total of 8 progressions being tracked. Those being Classic, Classic Hardcore, Classic Ladder, Classic Hardcore Ladder, Expansion, Expansion Hardcore, Expansion Ladder, Expansion Hardcore Ladder. Given this change, we have added new messaging for players to help them anticipate when Uber Diablo may spawn. This messaging will be sent out to all players in the region at certain tiers of progression and can be manually checked by using a /Uber Diablo chat command. We hope these changes will allow more players to get to experience the true terror that is Uber Diablo. So, like in the updated PDR, they implemented that it's per region. So if the whole Europe region in ladder softcore is selling SOJ, Stone of Jordans, then you will get messages and you can have Uber Diablo spawn in your game. Before it was just certain instances of server IP addresses which are hosting a specific and limited number of games where the selling of Stone of Jordans were counted towards. So now it's just the whole region, which is very nice. Mercenaries. Oh, maybe they changed something here. Rogue Archers. Yeah, update each skill. No disadvantage. So this is the same. Freezing arrow, explosion arrow, desert, mercenary. All aura tips available. Also Nightmare and Hell. Thorns adjusted as other thorns. Or Iron Wolf. Maybe they changed something here. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, values stay the same. Yeah, these stay the same. Fire stayed the same. Enchant, lightning. And it's a bit unfortunate because I think lightning and cold Act 3 mercenaries is specifically bad. I like the fire one because of the enchant, which gives a huge boost to tech rating and also damage for melee characters and physical characters in general. Oh well, you can have it all at one patch, right? Act 5 Barbarian Warrior. The same stack, it's the same. Wait, two-handed? Bash level scaling increase will no longer be kept at level 80? Level 80 of the Barbarian or level 80 of the skill? Stun level scaling increase will no longer be kept at level 80. Added battle cry. Hey, he had battle cry before. Ah, sorry, these changes were there before. Sorry, my bad. So nothing new. Oh, they added. Wait, okay, they just added the plague here to showcase. I thought they were just making these plaques of the plaques of plague, not the plaques of rune words for every new rune word. Would be nice, but oh well. So these are the same changes as we already saw when we have the new rune words. Plague for sword, claws, and daggers. Pattern for claw. Unbending will for sword. Wisdom for helmet. Obsession for staff. I mean, let's look at obsession. Did they make changes to it? No. Unfortunately not. I mean, I don't think they made changes to rune words. Why would they? They look all the same. Yeah, I guess they stay the same. But I think they are fine overall. In obsession, you could argue, yeah, sword rune is very, very rare, and you can get almost the same stats with a Heart of the Oak and Spirit Shield, but maybe style points. Cube recipes. Ooh, nice picture. We have the on the right side. There it is. We have the same recipes for upgrading set items and set item bonus changes. Let's quickly glance over that. I don't think anything changed there. Unfortunately, I think for some of... Oh, wait. You have Severb's Vestments. Added 50% defense full set. Oh, it was 4 to 396 per level, 4 per level. Okay, they made it a flat 50. Also for Cow King's letters, they made it a flat 100, not per level anymore. Other than that, same for, no, this is the same. Let's see. Nash stayed the same. Yeah, I hate that you have to check it like one by one, but these are the like official now released patch notes, and it's, yeah, it would be strange to have some color in it. So I get that. Yeah, but they made the scaling defense flat for some reason, but yeah, that's fine. I mean, they are better than they are better early level than late, so why not? Maybe, I don't know. I mean, Cow Kings at 100 defense compared to 5 to 495. At level 20, you would have 100 defense. I don't know if you can wear this, but anyways, not that important change. So level area changes. This is one of the huge changes, but it seems basically the same. So I wonder if they increase the density in some of these areas, because if you look at the patch 2.4 PTR update notes, it says level area and monster updates, increased unique monster density in the new level 85 areas, which is not specifically stated here. So we will see. We need to test it. Other than that, quality of life updates. Okay, here are general gameplay changes. And then the item tooltip changes. I don't know. It does not say quality of life changes here, but let's just see on the left side. Added language support for non-ASCII written language. Added player messaging for when a player tries to launch a game on an out-of-date patch version. Added message of the day capabilities. I think we saw that here. Yeah, they call it general and miscellaneous updates. New feature, legacy graphics emulation. There's now an option in the graphics setting menu under legacy that allows you to choose between 3 different emulation options for the legacy game graphics. The options are GDI, Glide, and Resurrected. GDI emulates the software rasterization of the original legacy game and does not apply any filtering. Glide emulates the hardware accelerated backend of the original legacy game with bilinear filtering. Resurrected uses the Glide emulation with additional fixes in the place to address an artifact that would occur with the original Glide. Okay. Funny that they made the effort for that. We feel Resurrected is the definitive emulation mode players should use, but we noticed feedback during PDR that some players preferred the style of legacy graphics released at launch, which did not have any filtering and most closely resembled the software rasterization of the original legacy game. We hope these emulation modes provide players with the means to choose the legacy graphics they prefer. Wow, interesting. Didn't know that there was such a big interest in the legacy graphics, but there it is. Now we have GDI, Glide, and Resurrected. What more can you ask for? So moving on to AI, and I don't know if you find it on the right side, so let's just see. Improve the reliability of pet summons and mercenaries teleporting to the player instead of being despawned. I think this was somewhere in the PTR patch notes, but I'm not sure where. Here, on the updated one. Character selection, newly created characters will now start on the top. Gameplay, when holding down a mouse button to target an enemy with a skill, the skill will continue to execute after the target dies. Minimap will now automatically reopen after death if you had it open prior to dying. Interesting. Yeah, arrow and bolt max quantity increased to 500, which is nice. Throwing weapon quantity increased by 50% is very nice. Blocking no longer interrupts the player while performing a skill or attack. Change how attack speed is determined while dual wielding weapons. Maybe we had these in the PTR, I'm fairly certain. But let's just get over it. Maybe there's some new thing. Character hit recovery will now have diminishing returns. Quick cast skill behavior has been unified. Left click quick cast skills behave in the same way as right click. Mercenary UIs will now display if the mercenary cannot use a skill because they're too low level. Huh. It was in the PTR, but I don't recall whenever this would occur. I don't know. Online added messaging if a player attempts to create a private channel with a name longer than the character limit. Added offline chat command that sets user presence to offline. Interesting. Offline mode. Option for players to control join access to their private games and consoles. Added a toggle button to show hide your game password. I think this is new. Vendors, players can now buy pre-filled tomes and keys when using a controller. I don't know how this works because I was using a controller on the PTR and I haven't seen this one. But maybe it didn't work. I don't know. Game optimized performance, optimized settings. You all had that in the PTR. We have some bug fixes here. Assassin fixed an issue where Cloak of Shadows defense calculation was incorrect. Wow. Wow. You never know. You never know how much incorrect it was and how often it was incorrect, but it's good that it's correct now. I was hoping for also quality of life would be showing the casting delay of Cloak of Shadows, like making it red or something, because you cannot cast Cloak of Shadows for the duration it has. Like if it has 10 seconds duration, you cast it and you have to wait 10 seconds, although you walk in other areas or something like that. But now the defense calculation is correct. I wonder if this was like too high or too low. So this could be a buff or a nerf or negligible. Paladin seems the same, I think. Gameplay fixed an issue where unique monster packs with mana drain were draining way more mana than was intended. Wow! So this looks like the mana burn fix is now finally here. I mean, they call it mana drain, but I don't know what is mana drain if not mana burn, and there are only unique monsters with mana burn. So, wow, interested to see how much mana it burns now, because it doesn't say, it just says that it was way more mana than was intended. So I'm curious about that. Now this is a bit hard to read because I think the ordering is also not the same. So just going over quickly. Fix an issue where fire engine monsters were doing too much damage to Nightmare. We had that before. Fix an issue where attacking a spell with 2 weapons equipped. The primary weapon will be used exclusively when attacking while transformed. When can a weapon wear 2 weapons though? Fix an issue where using a skill could be interrupted by if a player dodges avoids blocks. Uninterruptible skills could be interrupted once we had this before. Let me just quickly glance over it. Oh, yeah, I had this issue sometimes, so this is nice they fixed it. Or more like I had the issue that I was key binding to my controller my like teleport charges on my staff, and by rejoining a game I had to bind it again. So maybe this fixes it. I'm not sure. It doesn't really say. Difficult to select Chaos Sanctuary Seal. Yeah, this is nice. We had that before in the PTR. Oh, I think this is it. Fix an issue where skill bindings for O skills, and O skills are skills that are off character, that are not your skills that you put points into it, or you have plus skills onto it because of your talent tree. Skills you can't have via your talent tree wouldn't persist after dying and joining a new game. So this should be the fix, which is nice. I really like that fix. And these new patch notes or the new fixes are kind of buried in the other stuff. Fix an issue where a room in Act 1 cave said misplaced walls. Well, I did 100 runs of the cave. I haven't made a video yet or edited it, but I did 100 runs of the caves, and I don't recall a misplaced wall, but there you go. It's fixed now. Fix an issue where a few melee skills would often miss when attacking multiple times. We had that before in the PTR, which is a very nice fix. Also quick cast, force move and quick cast skills could still operate in a full screen UI in legacy mode. Cosplayers to miss attacks, we had that in the PTR as well. We had this fixed in the updated PTR, if I recall correctly. An issue where replenishing and propagation item modifiers were not triggering when currency was removed from melee skills. Okay. Fixed an issue where mercenary damage bonuses were being applied inconsistently. This will mostly affect damage when no weapon is again. Okay. Also not so important. Fix an issue where the mercenary damage UI would display inconsistent damage values. Did we have that before that fix? I don't think so. Let me see. Where are you, bug fixes? Yeah, I don't think, because I think this was kind of an issue with the Act 5 dual wielding mercenary. It's good that they fixed that. Fixed an issue where scrolls weren't auto-populating up to a belt slot purchased. Fixed an issue where the low resist tooltip didn't list the percentage by which the target's resistance is lowered. Okay. I haven't encountered that, but good to know. So character creation is the same fix. Controls also, graphics seem the same. Localization fixes, online fixes. I don't think there's anything of interest. Basically seems the same as in the PTR. And lastly, we have a modding update. We have added new columns to various .txt files. While this will cause compatibility issues for current offline single-player mods, the columns added will allow for further customization options. Developers of existing offline single-player mods can remake their changes with the new data, or they can add the following columns before merging belts.txt. So, I don't know, if you are a modder, if you like to mod your single-player game, then there you go. But this was it. So the biggest changes for sure are the mana burn fix. Where is it? Here. Everyone was hoping for that, and I personally hope that it is fixed in a good manner so that you don't go to 0 mana if you get one hit, but also has to be somewhat scary because it also has to be strong. You also have to fear getting hit by mana burn monsters. So let's see how they fix it. And the other big thing for me is, of course, the Blade Fury. Oh, whoops. The Blade Fury attack rating increased by 10% per level, which is very, very nice. And I'm curious to see how much attack rating we can now get. And also the buff to Fire Golem is something that, yeah, is still in my mind. And I'm also curious if this is a viable option because Fire Golem just looks so good. It's so cool. So I want to make a Skeletal Mage's Fire Golem, maybe Poison Necromancer work. So let's see about that. Yeah, but this was it. Thank you for watching. I will be linking the patch notes in the comments below. In the description below. Let me know in the comments what are you most excited about this patch. What are you going to play? And for me, it's the Blade Fury Assassin, and I can't wait to make a hardcore Blade Fury Assassin and play through the game. So let me know about that, and if you like this, please leave a thumbs up, and I see you in the next video. Thank you, goodbye.